Hey guys, it's Jason Rev, and I am going to be doing the Man Crush Monday. Today's Man Crush Monday is Peyton Manning, due to him getting voted into the Hall of Fame. See, as my jersey is like half of his career. Well, he spent more than half his career with the Colts, but it's the two teams he played for in his career: the Colts and the Broncos. So, yeah, Peyton Manning. I'm going to. I miss seeing Peyton Manning play. It's really, I loved watching that guy play. But yeah, I've been a Peyton Manning fan since 1998. Yesterday, it was announced that he will be inducted into the NFL Hall of Fame in 2021. In 1998, Peyton was a senior for the Tennessee Volunteers and was regarded as one of the top two picks in the NFL draft for that season. The other was Ryan Leaf. People were split. They didn't know who they were going to pick. It was big in the media, so I was reading up on it, and I'm like, I read and I thought, whoever this Peyton Manning kid is, he seems like a good kid. Kid, he's the same age. But I'm like, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna cheer for him, whoever he goes to. So Peyton ended up going first overall to the Indianapolis Colts. And you see, I was always a fan of players of the NFL, like Joe Montana and Barry Sanders. Like, I was big fans of theirs, even Steve Young to an extent. But I was never loved teams until Peyton Manning got drafted to the Colts. And then I started to cheer for that team and cheered for Peyton. Yeah. Manning, in his rookie season, Manning won Rookie of the Year, setting both the rookie touchdown record and the rookie interception record, which unfortunately he still holds today. He does not hold the rookie touchdown record. That actually got beaten a couple years ago by Baker Mayfield, and then Baker Mayfield's record got beaten this year by Justin Herbert for the LA Chargers. Yeah. But he still holds the interception record, and I know that's the only record of his that he hopes would get surpassed. Every year he hopes a rookie does it, but it just has not happened yet. Yeah, the team was horrible in his rookie season. They went 3-13. Yeah, they were horrible. But in their second season they turned it around and they went 13-3. So Peyton played for 14 seasons with the Colts. In 11 of those seasons, he had more than 10 wins. That's amazing. If you're a football fan, you know how amazing that is. He also won 4 MVP awards with the Colts. And in the 2006 season and 2007 Super Bowl, he won it with the Colts. They beat the Chicago Bears. I remember, I'm going to tell you a little bit about that playoff because it was... Yeah, it was a crazy playoff for me. So I was working on the weekend of the AFC Championship game. It was Manning and the Colts versus Tom Brady and the New England Patriots. They were already big rivals, and the Patriots always kicked our ass in the playoffs and kicked our ass during the regular season too. So it was really a tough game. So I was at work. I was at a workplace and I stayed late to watch the game because I wouldn't have got home in time to see the start. So I stayed there to watch the game, and I was watching, and the Colts just fell behind really badly. Peyton threw a few interceptions, and they were gonna lose again to Tom Brady. So I was fucking heartbroken. So I was texting with my friend Charlene. I told her that I'm on the bus on the way home. I'm almost about to get home, and I get a phone call from her, and she's like, "Are you watching the game?" And I'm like, "No, why?" Hold on, I'm going to try to turn on this ring thing to see how it... Ooh, how does it look? Wow, very bright. So, I was watching that game, and I wasn't. Charlene called me, and I was like, really? She's like, they came back. So I was almost home, so I go rushing to my place and get up and watch them. As soon as I get in there, the Patriots score again. I'm like, God damn it. So my dad comes and watches the game with me. And the Colts came back, and then they were able to pull ahead and finally win a game and beat Tom Brady and the Patriots, heading to the Super Bowl. So that Super Bowl, I went to watch at my friend Mike's place. And Peyton played pretty good. He won the Super Bowl MVP. I mean, it wasn't his best game ever. He didn't light up the scoreboard. It wasn't like a Steve Young Super Bowl game, but he still did enough to win win MVP honors. And that was it. His first Super Bowl he won. I'm like, yes, you finally got that monkey off your back. You won a Super Bowl. That's awesome. Then, he in 2009, Peyton and the Colts went 14-0, and then because they'd won the division, they'd wrapped up the division. They wrapped up home field advantage through the playoffs. So then the powers that be on the team decided that for the last 2 weeks they'd sit everybody. So they lost the last 2 games, which a lot of the players were pissed about, I think. I mean, I completely understand why the ownership or the powers that be, I don't know who it was, the ownership, the general manager, the coach, I don't know who it was. But allegedly it wasn't the coach who wanted to sit them. But, they wanted to go 16-0. They were cruising. And they wanted to try to go, have the perfect season. Inevitably, they lost in the Super Bowl to Drew Brees and the Saints. So that's one of the reasons I don't like Drew Brees, because they lost. That was the year that the Saints later on got found out they were doing I forget what it was called, but they were intending to injure players, and they were Bountygate. It was called Bountygate, and they were intentionally trying to injure players, and it was found out that they tried to injure Brett Favre in the NFC Championship game. That was the game I wanted to see. I wanted to see Manning versus Favre in the Super Bowl when he was playing for Minnesota. That would have been awesome. But, I mean, Drew Brees winning, it was good for the city because they just had Hurricane Katrina, so it was great for the city. But, man, I wanted Peyton to win again. So he was 1-1. Peyton played 2 more seasons with the Colts, although he only played 1 because he missed all the 2011 season with an injured neck. He had to have 4 surgeries on his neck. Nobody thought he was going to come back. So in 2012, the Colts, they were horrible the season without Peyton because that just, that proved how much they needed this guy to win. So they had the first overall pick, and it was once in a lifetime, once in a generation player called Andrew Luck. So the Colts had to decide, are they going to keep Peyton? Are they going to draft Luck? Are they going to keep them both? And they decided that they were going to cut Peyton. They got rid of their general manager. They got rid of their coach. They brought in a whole new regime. So it was like they got rid of a lot of players. So it was they decided to cut Peyton. So I understand why. It was very it was difficult. It was difficult, but you're leaving this legend, but you have the chance to get like the future, and rarely do you get that chance. What they could have done, I guess, they could have signed Peyton, had Luck sit and learn under him, but and then for a couple more years. But I don't know. I think what happened was best for Peyton, actually. So Peyton leaves and goes on he gets cut, but then he goes on a free agency tour. And he visited only 2 places, Arizona and Denver. But he received inquiries from Miami and Tennessee. But he didn't sign with, he didn't go visit either of those places. He did end up signing with Denver. And in his time with Denver, he had his greatest his 3 first seasons with Denver. He had his greatest statistical seasons ever, and he had a great record. Like he was fantastic. They won the division 4 times in a row. The year before that he got there, they'd also won the division at 8-8. So, and then when he got there, they went 12-4. So he helped improve the team. They made it to the Super Bowl twice while he was playing for Denver, winning Super Bowl 50. So in 2012, Peyton won Comeback Player of the Year and was, I believe, runner-up for MVP behind Adrian Peterson, who had a great season. He ran over 2,000 yards, and Peyton threw for 37 touchdowns that year, which was great for him. In 2013, he won his league MVP for a record 5th time, This season was his best statistical season ever, and is also the best statistical season ever for a quarterback if you're counting yards and touchdowns. He threw for 5,477 yards, which is a record. It's one more than Drew Brees got. And 55 touchdowns, which is also a record. That's 5 more than anybody else has ever thrown. The Broncos that season scored 606 points, which is a league record. They made it to the Super Bowl, but they got destroyed by the Seattle Seahawks and their Legion of Boom. This is their secondary. Fuck. Oh, it was a horrible game. I was in a bar, and I was so angry. I took my Peyton jersey off and threw it across. I was so mad. I was heartbroken. Right from the get-go. It was just... Oh. Yeah, it was sad. And when I was in 2009, I forgot, in that season, when they were in... I was in a bar with my buddy the Gambler and a few other friends, and I was decked out in Colts gear. I was wearing everything. I had a license plate around my neck. I had, like, my hands were covered in Colts stuff, and I think I had gloves. I had everything. I had everything Colts related. Hats, jerseys, glass, everything was Colt related. And when they lost, it was a hard loss because, I was there cheering hardcore for them. And it was a tough loss that year too. And then the one against Seattle was another tough loss. Yeah. The following season after that horrible Super Bowl, Peyton threw for 39 touchdowns and 4,727 yards. But ultimately, he lost to his former team, the Colts, and Andrew Luck in the first round. Yeah. That was tough. Yeah. I'll tell you, when Peyton left the Colts, it was very tough for me too, because it was like a divorce. So I still cheered for the Colts, but I went with Peyton. When you go live with one during it, Peyton was my boy, so I went. But I still love the Colts. So when they weren't playing each other, I would be cheering for them. And I like Andrew Luck. I think he's a great player, or was a great player, before he retired. But Peyton was my boy. Peyton was my heart. Peyton is my favorite athlete of all time. So I just couldn't just quit on Peyton. It wasn't gonna happen. Then the following season, the 2015 season, Peyton Manning. He didn't play well that year at all. It was his worst statistical season of all time. He actually got replaced. He got injured for the first time in his career. He got injured and missed the thing, but he got injured in mid-season for the first time of his career. He had a foot injury, and he missed a bunch of games, and he just did not play well. He was replaced, and then he came back in the last game, or last few games of the last game of the season. He came back in and won. So then during the playoffs, they kept him in, and he was able to, with that amazing defense they had an amazing defense, and they had this amazing defense. And Peyton, they won. They won the Super Bowl, and it was awesome. And then Peyton retired. And he went out as a winner. And at the time of his retirement, Peyton was the career leader in yardage, touchdown, wins as a quarterback, and come from behind fourth quarter wins. He still has the come from behind fourth quarter wins. The other ones have all been replaced. But he still leads in touchdowns in a season and yards in a season. He still has those records. This past Saturday, he was chosen to be inducted into the NFL Hall of Fame. Well, I've always been a Peyton. The thing I've loved about Peyton was how he conducted everything at the line of scrimmage. Watching him at the line of scrimmage was like watching a conductor conduct a symphony. You would see he would call audibles. He was the best, he was the best prepared quarterback of all time. He knew what to do. He wouldn't make the same mistake. He was such a perfectionist, and he was always ready and always had the game plan. It was like he was the offensive coordinator, the quarterback's coach, and the quarterback all gelled into one at the line of scrimmage. He took such pride in the game, and he is my favorite quarterback of all time. I wish he had won more Super Bowls. I wish, he didn't have to retire as early as he did. I wish he could have played as long as Tom Brady has. And it sucks seeing Brady still competing. And my boy didn't get to compete. My boy isn't, sorry, I was looking at how long this video has been going for. I wish that Peyton would have got to play longer. But I'm so glad that I got to see him live. Me, the gambler, and another friend of ours went down to Houston and watched Peyton play live. And Peyton came from behind and brought the Colts to a win. It was awesome. There were two cute girl Colt fans sitting beside me, so that was awesome. We were all cheering, and it was a great time. Some drunk Houston kid threw beer at the two girls because they were cheering. So what are you going to do? Bad form on that Houston fan. But this is all I have to say about my boy Peyton Manning right now. He is my Man Crush Monday, my second Man Crush Monday. I'm so happy he made it into the Hall of Fame, and I wish him a great retirement. I know he's been retired for 5 years. I'd love to see him get back in the game in some capacity. I think he'd be an amazing announcer, but I don't know if he'll ever do that. But I would love to see. Oh, don't forget to subscribe and hit like. And thank you for viewing these videos. I hope you enjoy them. Please leave a comment if you got any comments. And I will see you guys around. Bye-bye.